Guess I should prepare myself. What did Art just send me? Look at this. I have no idea. Hey, Art. What is this? I was trying to read it. You want some? Sure. Don't eat the whole thing. Just eat a little bit. It's good. Where'd you get it? Actually, you bought it. You can eat the whole thing. I can't eat the whole thing. It's like, it's too intense. Yeah. It's pretty rich.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Let's hear it for our band once again. And happy 4th of July weekend. Happy 250th anniversary of the United States. So delighted that you're all here with us today. Hello to everybody who's following us online. I know that here in the room and at home watching on YouTube, you're not here by accident, but you're here by divine appointment. And speaking of appointments, I know our phones keep us up to date about where we're supposed to be, but I invite you to silence them at this moment so they don't disturb our service today, but that you can use them to check in or to take pictures of anything you want, but just make sure they're silenced. Thank you. Appreciate that. And unity starts everything we do, and it is one of the greatest advantages of my life is that we start everything we do with prayer. So even when I'm having a tough day or a difficult meeting or a challenge that I have to overcome, the ritual of stopping for prayer is a way of resetting myself and setting myself up for success. So I invite us to begin today, like we do everything here in Unity, with affirmative prayer. Our prayer chaplains are going to surround us right now. I invite them to hold the space for us, and I invite you to open yourself in this moment to the highest and the best for ourselves and for the nation. As we open in this moment, we open to the infinite possibilities that exist within us and everywhere around us. We open to the realization that Spirit, Source, Universe, God, by whatever name we call it, is already at work, lifting, supplying, providing, guiding. We know that this moment is the moment we have been brought to, by circumstance, by opportunity, by moments of knowing. Knowing that the highest and the best is here for us whenever we open to it. Notice that the wisdom we seek is at hand. Knowing that the love we give, we get back tenfold. So as we breathe into that realization, we embody that consciousness. We shift from a human being or a human doing into a spiritual being, here to serve, here to uplift, here to provide comfort, provide community, provide resources, and provide presence. Presence for a world, a nation, a city, and a community that needs more of what we bring. So for this day, and for the joy of giving, for this day and the joy and the pleasure of receiving, and for this day filled with untold bounty, we are truly grateful. And together we say, Amen. Ashe. Now I'm going to invite to the platform Mr. Ryan Harvey.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. And we're here on a great Sunday where you have a great service in store for you, the Spiritual Lessons of Hamilton, which I'll tell you more about in a minute. But we also wanted to take this opportunity to make sure everybody has a bulletin. If you didn't get a bulletin, please raise your hand. Our ushers will come around with a bulletin for you right now to make sure you all have one. Inside of that bulletin, you will find a connection card. If you flip the bulletin open, you'll find a connection card on the side. We ask everybody, whether you're here for the first time or you've been here before, to fill out the connection card with your name and your address, a way to get in touch with you and contact you and make sure that we can communicate. And if there's anything you need to tell me, I don't get a chance to talk to all of you on Sunday, but it's a chance for you to do it. If you're online, tell them how they can do it online.
If you're online, we have a link that's been dropped in the chat for you. We are so grateful for everyone who joins us online. So click the link in the chat or on the website. There's a little button you can click that says Spiritual Connection Card. We would love to meet with you and to give you your first-time gifts.
We have named this year our Year of Manifestation, 2026. And we do believe and teach here that when you set your intention and you claim it, that you can create it in the world. So this is our year of manifestation. And we have some goals that we are out to manifest in this year. But my question to you is, what are your intentions? What is it that you want to manifest in your lives for 2026? Those are some things that you can write down on your connection card and send them when you drop them in the offering basket later. I will hold them in prayer for you and reinforce that we're here to support your highest and your best, and you're achieving your greatest good benefits the whole world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and to anchor all of that manifestation in that journey, we have an affirmation. I'll say it once, and I invite you to join with me. I commit to creating in the realm of infinite possibility. Can you know this with me? I commit to creating in the realm of infinite possibility.
And so when that spiritual connection card is done, you can put that in the offering basket. We'll have time for that later. If you're here for the first time, we do have some gifts for you. They're on the table in the vestibule right outside the front doors here. Just pick one up as you're leaving. If you're online, we'd love to make sure you get a first-time gift as well. So
once again, click the link just in the spiritual connection card. There's a little button you click, and we'll send that out to you via email or mail. It is so good to see you. Coming up this month. Yes. Coming up on July 14th, we have an amazing webinar. Why don't you tell us about it, Ken?
So last year, last year I wrote it. This year, the book was published called Unapologetic Manifestation. Yay! And it is doing really well, but I'm having these monthly webinars to help spread the news and spread the teachings contained in the book. They're free, they're online. You have to sign up, though. On our website, you can sign up to join us on the webinar. It's an hour long, and this month we're diving into positive inventory. Many of us can tell you everything we do wrong. We're really good at that. But if I were to press you and say, what is your greatest strength? What do you bring to the world? Do you have a full understanding of that and your effect on the world because of your gifts? So we're going to spend some time diving into our positive inventory, where we can look at the best that we bring to the world and to help increase that. So join me on Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Okay.
Now rise as the music moves you, as we sing our community song, The Next Step Is Mine.
Oh, so let's introduce Misa. Misa Malone is our music director, for those of you who haven't met. She's going to lead us in this.
No, seriously, rise as you're willing and able as the music moves you. Come on, people. Who's on PowerPoint? Click. It's a harder world we gotta live in, and everyone in it needs a lot of forgiving, yes. The journey is long and the trial is demanding, but we are gonna get some peace and understanding. The next step is mine. The next step is mine. Put one foot in front of the other. Love my neighbor and love my brother. Moving moving on along just a little bit further. The next step is mine. Well, there ain't one train gonna take us to glory. No, next step is mine. It's step by step to the end of the story. Yes, the next step is mine. Might be 2 steps up and 1 step back. The next step is mine. But we keep on moving, and that's a fact. The next step is mine. The next step is mine. The next step is mine. Next step is mine. You're gonna put one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna love my neighbor. I'm gonna love my brother. Gonna move it all along just a little bit further. The next step is mine. Well, we won't be alone. There's a great big chorus. The next step is mine. Following the steps of the ones before us. The next step is mine. If we don't give up, we won't be defeated. The next step is mine. Gonna treat everybody like we wanna be treated. The next step is mine. 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 Said I'm gonna put one foot in front of the other. I'm gonna love my sister and love my brother. Gonna move it all along a little bit further. The next step is mine. The next step is mine. Next step is mine. Gonna put one foot in front of the other. Gonna love my neighbor, love my brother. Gonna move it all along a little bit further. 'Cause you know the next step, the next step, the next step is mine. We have reached our time of interactive meet and greet. Please greet your neighbors with handshakes, hugs, toe taps, and fist bumps. Please observe social distancing and preferences. Happy Sunday.
Hey, Ryan, are we? Welcome to all of you who are online. I wanted to take this opportunity to invite you personally to join me on 2 different retreats. The first retreat is at Unity Village, and it will take place on September 21st through the 25th. You can go to our website and sign up today. It's amazing at Unity Village, and we'll get to spend a whole week together diving into the principles. The next trip is Bali. Bali, baby, in February of 2027. So both of them are on our website. Find out about all the details. I look forward to having you at both places. Also, if you'd like to have some time to talk to me, you can sign up on our website for Candlely. And you can get on my schedule this week, and we can have some one-on-one time. I'm so delighted that you're here and look forward to seeing you together. Bye. So if you haven't had a chance to say hi to everybody yet, I promise, we have some great hospitality downstairs. We're having our 4th of July picnic downstairs. We have ribs and barbecue chicken and corn on the cob and mashed potatoes, all kinds of great stuff. There is something on that screen that we need to fix. Thank you. And so as you settle back in, we're not going to bring the kids up today, but we are blessing them, knowing that the kids, we also have 2 of our young people who are singing in the choir with us today. Roma and Rosalie are singing in the choir today, so we bless the kids and know that they are the gift. So when Hamilton came out in 2015, JD and I had the privilege, my husband who's sitting here, had the privilege of seeing it early as a benefit for a political candidate we were supporting at the time. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And from that moment, we knew that we had to shift who we were being. And it is one of those things about theater and church that I think overlap. That when people come together in a community, when they come together around the human journey, we have an experience together, a collective effervescence that elevates us to something higher than we previously knew. Whether it be through song, through spoken word, and sometimes the combination of the two. That we have a profound shift within us, and that opens us to something greater. So when spiritual communities and when theatrical communities can come together in certain ways, I think it is even more powerful. And that's what I've made my mission, my purpose here on life, in my life, for my life. And I've got some great people who get to work on it with me. So we conceived this back in 2018. Misa and I created this together in 2018, and when the 250th anniversary of the United States rolled around, we said it's time to lift it back up and to see how it makes sense for us today after everything that has changed in the last 7 years. So here we are, revisiting the spiritual lessons of Hamilton again. Now, in the original Broadway production, they did some groundbreaking things. First off, they cast everyone in the production as people of color. And none of the, if you didn't know this, founding fathers were people of color. Weren't allowed to vote, weren't allowed to do it. So it was groundbreaking in that way for many reasons. And one of the ways we've pushed the envelope a little further here today is we're also breaking the color barrier, but also the gender barrier. So we're not necessarily going to have our people playing only one gender or only one role. Because we don't have a 26-member cast, we're going to have these 5 amazing principals backed by an incredible choir and chorus of our volunteers and staff who have been working diligently for months to do it. So Misa is going to be playing Alexander Hamilton and several other roles. Albert is going to be playing Aaron Burr, George Washington, and several other parts. Moazu is going to be playing John Lawrence, Angelica Schuyler, and one other. And George Washington. So they're going to flip back and forth. And Ryan is going to be playing Lafayette. Yes, and John Lawrence too. They're just Lafayette, and a bunch of other roles. And Callie will be playing Eliza Hamilton. And Sam is John Lawrence. There's John Lawrence. And Hercules Mulligan. Yes. So we have a full cast for you in many different ways. So without further ado, just to help you keep it straight, I have this incredible screen behind me. So when they stand up to sing for the first time, their historical character will appear on the screen behind them, so you know who's talking, okay? All right. Are we ready? Yeah. All right. Fabulous. All right, here we go. Welcome everyone online. Yes, there we go. So who was Alexander Hamilton? besides being the guy on the $10 bill and our first Secretary of the Treasury. But more importantly, why should we care about him today? Hamilton was one of the most unlikely of founding fathers. He served as George Washington's aide-de-camp during the Revolutionary War. He helped establish the Treasury Department, laid the foundation for many of the financial institutions that we still use in our nation today. But those accomplishments are not what make his story so compelling. What makes Hamilton remarkable is where he started. He was born a poor, orphaned immigrant in the Caribbean who arrived in America with a little more than a brilliant mind, an unrelenting work ethic, a vision for what might be possible. And through sheer determination, courage, and conviction, he helped shape the nation to what we know it today, and the democratic ideals that we too often take for granted. For much of American history, Hamilton was one of the lesser-known founding fathers. Then something extraordinary happened. This Broadway musical came along and transformed him from a historical footnote into one of the most celebrated figures in American history. And yet, Hamilton's story is much more than politics or revolution. At its heart, Hamilton's story is about creation, what I would call manifestation. It's the story of a young man who refused to let the circumstances of his birth determine the possibilities for his future. It is the story of someone who saw a vision before anyone else could see it, believed in it before there was evidence, and committed himself to it so completely that in that vision and with that vision, he changed the course of history. Hamilton embodies a spiritual truth that New Thought has been teaching for generations. What we consistently hold in consciousness, believe in our hearts, and support through our actions has the power to transform our lives. Before there was a nation, there was an idea. Before there was a revolution, there was a vision. And before there was Alexander Hamilton, the statesman, there was Alexander Hamilton, the dreamer. So let's begin where all great stories begin, with a young immigrant who arrived with nothing more than a dream.
How does a bastard orphan, son of a whore and a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar?
The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being self-starter at 14. They placed him in charge of a trading charter.
And every day while slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the waves, he struggled and kept his guard up. Inside he was longing for something to be a part of. The brother was ready to beg, steal, borrow, or barter.
Then a hurricane came and devastation reigned. Our man saw his future dripping down the drain. Put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain, and he wrote his first refrain, a testament to his pain.
The word got around, they said this kid is insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexandra Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait, just you wait.
When he was 10, his father split, full of it, dead, written 2 years later. See Alex and his mother, half red and half dead, sitting in their own sick, the sick thick.
And Alex got better, but his mother went quick. Moved in with the cousin committed suicide. Left him with nothing but ruined pride. Something new inside, a voice saying, Alex, you gotta fend for yourself. He started retreating and reading every treatise on the shelf.
There would have been nothing left to do for someone less astute. He would have been dead or destitute without a cent of restitution. Started working, clerking for his late mother's landlord, paid in sugar cane and rum and all the things he can't afford. Scamming for every book he can get.
just you and in New York. New York, just you and Alexander Hamilton. We are waiting in the wings for you. You can never back down. You never learn to take your time. Oh, Alexander Hamilton. When America sings for you, will they know what you overcame? Will they know you grew up again? The world will never be the same. Oh,
The ship is in the harbor now. See if you can spot it. Another immigrant coming up from the bottom. His enemies destroyed his rep. America forgot him.
fought with him.
I trusted him.
Me, I died for him.
And me, I'm the damn fool that shot him.
There's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. Alexander Hamilton.
So as I mentioned earlier, Alexander Hamilton's early childhood was not easy. He was born on the island of Nevis, a beautiful volcanic island surrounded by bright blue water and breathtaking scenery. Yet beneath that, there was a much harsher reality. The Caribbean economy was built on sugar plantations, cotton plantations, and slavery. In fact, most of the enslaved Africans brought here against their will, or brought to the New World against their will, never arrived in North America. They were brought to islands like Nevis and St. Croix. Hamilton grew up in the middle of that world. His mother, Rachel, had fled an unhappy marriage before meeting Hamilton's father, James Hamilton. Because she was unable to legally remarry, Alexander and his brother grew up carrying the stigma of illegitimacy. In a society obsessed with class and status, that was very important. And then his life got even more difficult. When Alexander was 11, his father abandoned the family, leaving them in debt. Not long afterwards, his mother contracted a fever, and Alexander became sick as well. Rachel, his mother, died while caring for her son, and leaving a 12-year-old Alexander an orphan. Think about that for a moment. Before most children today have finished middle school, Hamilton had lost both of his parents, lost the little social standing he possessed, and found himself alone in the world. The world had already written his story for him. Poor, orphaned, immigrant, outsider. But Hamilton refused to accept the story that had been assigned to him. At 12 years old, he went to work for a trading company. There he learned finance, commerce, international trade, and witnessed firsthand both the opportunities and the cruelties of the world around him. When Hamilton was 17, a devastating hurricane struck St. Croix. Buildings were destroyed, lives upended, and the island was left in ruins. People saw destruction. Hamilton saw humanity. He sat down and he wrote about what he had witnessed. He described the suffering, the courage, the resilience of the people around him. And the letter he wrote was so profound that it was published in the local newspaper. When people read it, they saw something extraordinary. They saw possibility. A group of local citizens raised money to send this young orphan to America for an education. Think about that. The very storm that could have destroyed his future became the doorway to it. Sometimes opportunities don't arrive as a blessing. They arrive as a disruption to our lives. Hamilton literally wrote himself out of the circumstances of his birth. He arrived in New York with little money, no name, no social standing, but he possessed something far more powerful, a vision for what was possible. In New York, he met the people who would reshape the rest of his life. John Lawrence, the Marquis de Lafayette, Hercules Mulligan, Aaron Burr. They would become his friends, his rivals, revolutionary soldiers, politicians, and in Burr's case, his greatest adversary. They are simply a group of young people filled with ideas, ambition, and impossibility, which is where every great adventure begins, a new opportunity.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but Daigle, I'm amazing, astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains, but no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge. I'm a diamond in the rough, a shiny piece of coal, trying to reach my goal. My power of speech, unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I shoulder every burden, every disadvantage. I have learned to manage. I don't have a gun to branch. I'll walk these streets, famished. My plan is spin this spark into a flame. The man is getting dark, so let me spell out my name. I am the ALEXANDER. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keeps shitting on us endlessly. Eventually, they tax us relentlessly. Then King George turns around, runs a spending spree. He ain't ever gonna set his descendants free, so there will be a revolution in this century. Into me, he says in parentheses. Don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free. Eventually, you'll see my ascendancy. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. It's time to take a shot.
Geniuses, lower your voices. You get out of trouble and you double your choices. I'm with you, but the situation is fraught. You've got to be carefully taught. If you talk, you're gonna get shot.
Bird, check what we got. Mr. Lafayette, hard rock like Lancelot. I think your pants look hot. Lawrence, I like you a lot. Let's hot your plaque better than the kettle calling the pot. What are the odds the gods will put us all in one spot? Popping a squad of conventional wisdom, like it or not. A bunch of revolutionary manumission abolitionists. Give me your position. Show me where the ammunition is. Oh, am I talking too loud? Sometimes I get overexcited, shoot off at the mouth. I never had a group of friends before. I promise I'm gonna make y'all proud.
Let's get this guy in front of a crowd.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
Everybody sing!
Whoa, come on. Whoa,
Yeah!
whoa, yeah.
Let him hear you! Shout it from the rooftops! Shout it from the rooftops! Rise up when you're living on your knees, you rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up.
When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up? When are these colonies gonna rise up?
Rise up!
I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. When's it gonna get me? In my sleep, 7 feet ahead of me? If I see it coming, do I run or do I let it be? Is it like a beat without a melody? See, I never thought I'd live past 20. Where I come from, some get half as many. Ask anybody why we living fast and we laugh. Reach for a flask we have to make this moment laugh. That's plenty, scratch that. This is not a moment, it's the movement. Where all the hungriest brothers with something to prove with. Foes oppose us and we take an honest stand. We roll like Moses, claiming our promised land. And if we win our independence, is that a guarantee of freedom for our descendants? Or will the blood we shed begin an endless cycle of vengeance and death with no defendants? I know the action in the street is exciting, but Jesus, between all the bleeding and fighting I've been reading and writing, we need to handle our financial situation. Are we a nation of states? What's the state of our nation? I'm past patiently waiting. I'm passionately smashing every expectation. Every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time I'm thinking past tomorrow. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm scrappy and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. We gonna rise up.
It's time to take a shot!
We gonna rise up.
It's time to take a shot!
We gonna rise up. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up.
It's time to take a shot!
Rise up. Whoa. Rise up.
Shot! Shot! Shot!
Oh, 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 oh. And I throwing away my, not throwing away my shirt.
My shot captures the energy of a young man preparing for an opportunity most of us never dream of. Hamilton arrives in New York with nothing that the colonial society traditionally valued. No family name, no inherited wealth, no social position, no powerful connections. What he did possess was intelligence, ambition, and an almost relentless drive to make something of himself. His friends that he met in New York would help shape the rest of his life. Together, they were young, idealistic, argumentative, ambitious, and convinced they could change the world. And in time, they did. Hamilton's energy was impossible to ignore. He seemed to be everywhere at once, writing, debating, organizing, studying, networking, moving towards whatever came next. And that eventually caught the attention of the most powerful man in America, George Washington. Washington appointed Hamilton his aide-de-camp. Currently, we would call it the chief of staff. From the outside, it might have looked like Hamilton had finally made it, but the revolution was far from won. Today, it's easy to look back and think of it as inevitable. It wasn't. When the British fleet arrived in New York Harbor carrying more than 30,000 troops, the outcome looked anything but certain. The British Army was the most powerful military force in the world. The colonies were divided, underfunded, poorly supplied, and constantly struggling for survival. Victory would require extraordinary courage, vision, patience, and no small amount of luck. Hamilton threw himself into the cause. Using the same skills that he had used to escape St. Croix, he wrote endlessly. Letters, reports, proposals, arguments, appeals to Congress for more money, supplies, and support. His pen became almost as important as every instrument on the battlefield. He learned quickly, worked constantly, built relationships, solved problems, and created opportunities. Over time, he became indispensable to Washington. More experienced officers found themselves passed over as Hamilton's influence continued to grow, including one officer who never forgot it, Aaron Burr. But Hamilton wasn't simply trying to win a war. He was trying to build something that would outlast him, something larger than himself. And while all of this was unfolding, Hamilton was also seeking romance. In fact, Martha Washington reportedly named her feral tomcat Alexander, which tells you all you need to know about his reputation. By most accounts, Hamilton was completely captivated by the Schuyler family from the moment he met them, particularly Angelica Schuyler. Brilliant, charming, quick-witted, one of the few people in the world that could truly match him intellectually, and their connection was immediate, their banter legendary. But there was another Schuyler sister, Eliza, warm, loyal, compassionate, the woman who would eventually become Hamilton's wife and one of the most important people in his life. At this point, however, none of them know what lie ahead. They're simply young people standing at the beginning of a revolution.
I've been reading Common Sense by Thomas Paine. Some men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Work! Look around, and how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around, and how lucky we are to be alive right now. History is happening in Manhattan. We just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. In the greatest city in the world. Work, work, Angelica. Work, work, and Peggy. The Schuyler sisters, Angelica.
Peggy.
Work.
While Hamilton would eventually marry Eliza, both Schuyler sisters remained important influences in his life. It was also worth remembering the revolution was changing more than governments. It was changing consciousness. Women found new voices in public life. Enslaved people began pressing more forcefully for their freedom. Ordinary citizens started asking extraordinary questions. Who has power? Who deserves freedom? Who gets a voice? The revolution introduced a radical idea into the world, that people could govern themselves. Today that seems obvious, and at the time it was revolutionary. The world was being turned upside down by the power of ideas, words, and vision, and no one embraced that world more fully than Alexander Hamilton. Speaking truth to power was practically a hobby for him. Unfortunately, it was also one of the reasons he had so many enemies, none more significant than Aaron Burr. In many ways, Burr was Hamilton's mirror image. Hamilton was born an orphaned outsider in the Caribbean. Burr was born into one of America's most respected families. Yet fate dealt both men surprising hardships. Burr lost both of his parents at a young age and was raised by relatives. Like Hamilton, he was brilliant, ambitious, and exceptionally gifted. The similarities between them were striking, but their responses to life could not be more different. Hamilton charged forward. Burr held back. Hamilton believed that action created opportunity. Burr preferred to wait for certainty. One rushed headlong into the future, the other carefully calculated every move. And this is the difference that sits at the heart of one of the most important relationships in this entire story.
Theodosia writes me a letter every day. I'm keeping her bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side in Georgia, trying to keep the colonies in line. Well, he can keep all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We keep loving anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason, I'm by her side. When many have tried, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. My grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher. Preacher. But there are things that the homilies and hymns won't teach her. Teacher. My mother was a genius. My father commanded respect. When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We keep living anyway. We rise and we fall and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm still alive, when everyone who loves me has died, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I am the one thing in life I can control. Wait for it. I am inimitable. I am an original. Wait for it. I'm not falling behind or running late. Wait for it. I'm not standing still. I am lying in wait. Hamilton faces an endless uphill climb. He has something to prove. He has nothing to lose. Hamilton's pace is relentless, he wastes no time. What is it like in his shoes? Hamilton doesn't hesitate. He exhibits no restraint. He takes and he takes and he takes. He keeps winning anyway. Changes the game, plays and he raises the stakes. If there's a reason he seems to thrive with so few survive, then goddammit, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Life doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. We rise and we fall. If there's a reason I'm still alive, so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it. 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 Wait.
Burr's response to loss was caution. He rarely moved unless he believed he could predict the outcome. Hamilton's response was exactly the opposite. He moved, he pushed, he argued, he challenged. And while that determination helped propel him forward, it also created enemies wherever he went. Hamilton seemed absolutely incapable of holding his tongue, and this eventually caught up with him. After a disagreement with Washington, Hamilton refused to apologize, and Washington dismissed him from his staff. For a man whose identity had become solely tied to his achievement, it was a crushing blow. The war continued. Others were advancing, and Hamilton found himself on the sidelines. Dejected and frustrated, he returned home, where Eliza was waiting and expecting. At this point in the story, something fascinating happens. Perhaps for the first time in his life, Hamilton encounters someone who sees him differently than the rest of the world sees him. Most people admired his ambition. Eliza loved the man beneath the ambition. Most people valued what Hamilton could accomplish. Eliza valued who he already was. And that becomes the heart of this next song. Because Hamilton spends so much of his time trying to prove himself, trying to earn his place, trying to outrun the circumstances of his birth, trying to become enough. And Eliza gently offers another possibility. What if you already are enough? What if your worth is not measured by your achievements? What if your value does not depend on what you accomplish next? For a man driven by his ambition, it may have been the most challenging question he would ever face.
Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Look around.
How long have you known?
A month or so.
Eliza, you should have told me.
I went to the general a month ago.
No.
I begged him to send you home.
You should have told me.
I am not sorry. I knew you'd fight until the war was
The war's not
won,
done.
but you deserve a chance to meet your son. Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now.
Will you relish being a poor man's wife, unable to provide for your life?
I relish being your wife. Look around. Look at who you are. Look at where you started. The fact that you're alive is a miracle. Just stay alive, that would be enough. And if this child shares a fraction of your smile or a fragment of your mind, look at world, that would be enough. I don't pretend to know the challenges you're facing, the worlds you keep erasing and creating in your mind. But I'm not afraid. I know who I married, so long as you come home at the end of the day, that would be enough. We don't need a legacy. We don't need money. If I could grant you peace of mind, if you could let me inside your heart, oh, let me be part of the narrative in the stories they will write someday. Let this moment be the first chapter where you decide to stay. and I could be enough. And we could be enough. That would be enough.
Never one to give up, Hamilton used his time away from Washington as much as he used every challenge in his life. He wrote, he corresponded with friends and colleagues, he advanced the revolutionary cause. He kept learning, planning, and preparing. Hamilton may have been off the battlefield, but he was far from inactive. Meanwhile, Washington had known triumph and failure. He understood that success was not a straight line, and setbacks are not the end of the story. And sometimes the lessons learned in disappointment become the very tools that you need for victory. Eventually, Washington brought Hamilton back. And in sharing some of those lessons with Hamilton, he helped this young man see something he had not fully understood. But Hamilton still wanted more than a desk. He wanted a command. He wanted a chance to prove himself on the battlefield. And he was relentless. He kept pressing Washington for an opportunity until the general shared some of those hard-earned lessons with Hamilton. Hamilton was hearing something that only age, experience, and hardship can teach.
I was younger than you are now when I was given my first command. I led my men straight into a massacre. I witnessed their deaths firsthand. I made every mistake. I felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you.
And then Washington gave Hamilton what he wanted most, a field command at Yorktown. The moment Hamilton had dreamed about since he first arrived in America had finally arrived. A chance for glory, a chance to serve, a chance to leave his mark on history. And this time, Hamilton was not going to throw away his shot.
The Battle of Yorktown, 1781.
Monsieur Hamilton,
Monsieur Lafayette,
in command where you belong.
how you say no sweat? We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
So what happens if we win?
I go back to France. I bring freedom to the people if I'm given the chance.
We'll be with you when you do.
Go lead your man.
I see you on the other side.
Till we meet again. Let's go.
away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Till the world turns upside down. Till the world turns upside down.
At Yorktown, Hamilton finally received the opportunity he had spent years pursuing. Under a barrage of cannon fire, Hamilton and his men climbed out of their trenches and charged across the battlefield toward heavily fortified British position. The attack was fast, violent, dangerous, and remarkably successful. In less than 10 minutes, Hamilton and his soldiers captured the enemy fortification. For the young man who had dreamed of military glory since his arrival in America, the moment was everything that he had imagined, and perhaps a little bit more. The orphan from the Caribbean, the immigrant, the outsider, the young man who had spent his whole life trying to prove himself, finally had distinguished himself in one of the most important battles of American history. It was a defining moment, not only for Hamilton, but for the revolution itself.
After a week of fighting, a young man in a red coat stands on a parapet.
We lower our guns as he frantically waves a white handkerchief.
And just like that, it's over. We tend to our wounded, we count our dead.
Black and white soldiers wonder alike if this really means freedom.
Not yet.
We negotiate the terms of surrender. I see George Washington smile. We escort the men out of Yorktown. They stagger home single file. Tens of thousands of people flood the streets. Their screams and church bells ringing. And as our fallen foes retreat, I hear the drinking song they're singing. The world turned upside down. 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 Down, 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 down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. The world turned upside down.
There were still battles and skirmishes to come, but for all intents and purposes, the war was over at Yorktown. The impossible had happened. The most powerful empire in the world had been defeated by a collection of colonies that many people considered insignificant, divided, and destined to fail. Hamilton had gotten his battlefield glory. Washington had secured his victory, and the world had been turned upside down. But the revolution was not merely military. It was a revolution of ideas, a revolution of imagination, a revolution of consciousness. For the first time in history, ordinary people dared to declare that they had the right to govern themselves, and they fought for it. At least that was the ideal. That the power did not belong exclusively to kings. Liberty belonged to everyone. But like all human beings, our founding fathers fell far short of the ideals they proclaimed. The men who wrote the words, "All men are created equal," owned other human beings. Women were excluded. Native peoples were displaced and slaughtered. People of color were denied the very freedoms being celebrated and lived under brutal, inexplicably inhumane conditions. Our founding fathers were not perfect, far from it. But they were willing to hold up an ideal larger than themselves. They were willing to imagine a future that did not yet exist. And once an idea enters human consciousness, it cannot be put back into a box. The revolution did not end in Yorktown. The revolution continued with the abolitionists, with the suffragettes, with Harriet Tubman and Abraham Lincoln, with Rosa Parks, the people of Stonewall, and with Martin Luther King Jr. Today, with the people of Minneapolis and the people of Indivisible and the people who stand on the corners protesting every day for no kings, protesting for an America that works for everyone, protesting for the rights of all people around the world. Until this nation lives up to its principles, the work of equality, liberty, and justice is never finished. Every generation, every single generation receives the dream, but is asked to carry it forward. And that may be the greatest lesson of Hamilton. Not that one man changed the world, but that ordinary people, imperfect people, people with flaws and fears and failures can participate in something larger than themselves. They can help bend history towards a greater vision. This is exactly what happened 250 years ago. A revolution of thought, a revolution of consciousness, a revolution that turned the world upside down. So next week, we'll discover what happens after the victory. But as Hamilton would soon learn, winning the war and winning and building a nation are not the same thing. And the greatest challenge of his story and the greatest challenges of our shared stories, our shared vision, is that each and every one of us must continue to hold that vision, to demand justice and equality, to hold fast and to work hard so that the world is turned upside down.
The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. Down, 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 down. Freedom for America, freedom for France. Down, down, gotta start a new nation, gotta meet my son.
Wow, yes. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Let me introduce you to the Hamilton Ensemble. On drums, Brian Fischler. On keys, so that's all your bells and whistles and strings in the back, Luke Schwartz. Our music director holding down everything because he's amazing, Arthur Koo. To my far right, little Peggy Schuylers, Ramashram Daigle and Rosalie Fischler. Soprano, we have standing next to Rosalie Luna. Holding down the male low vocals in the back row, Dan Pioletti. Next to Dan, we have Miss Carolyn Carvajal. On stage, your Eliza Callie Carvajal. Hercules Mulligan, Mr. Sam Snell. The Marquis de Lafayette, Ryan Harvey. John Lawrence and Angelica Schuyler, Mawazu Chisholm Mosquita. And to my left, Aaron Burr and George Washington, Albert Hodge and Peggy. Albert Hodge. My name is Mies Malone. I'm the music minister here at Uni San Francisco. Thank you so much, Reverend Ken Daigle, for trusting us with this amazing experience. The world turned upside down. 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 Down, 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 down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. The world
have a couple quick announcements and we can wrap this up. Woo! Happy 4th of July, 5th of July. Woo! Thank you. Thank you all for being here. You can pull out your spiritual connection cards again. We'll take a look at the back of them because we have some things that we can continue this revolution with. We're having, So state your declaration, just like our founding fathers. State your declaration. Naming and claiming is very important. So this week, your spiritual practice is to state what you believe in, what you will work for. Yeah.
And take every shot.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, take the shot.
Yeah. Expand your vision of what's possible. Expand your vision of what you can achieve.
And build your legacy.
Something that's going to outlive us all.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. We have lots of opportunities for you to volunteer at Unity San Francisco. As you can tell, all this is done with volunteers and small staff. So let's hear it for volunteers at Unity San Francisco. All right, our spiritual discussion group will happen right after service. I'm going to go down and be online. For those of you watching this online, we're going to do this real time. We'll start at 12:30, and we'll have a discussion and talk about the spiritual lessons we discovered here and that we want to carry forward into this week. So go to our website and join us.
Yes. Now, we were just talking about a donation of talent with the beautiful choir and all the people who have volunteered to help support and make this service happen today.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us and volunteering your time. And also, there's donation of treasure. So this week, Robin Juan, where did she go? I saw her. Yes, has graciously sponsored both the hospitality and the band this service.
Thank you, Robin. Woohoo! You too can do that. You can sponsor the band or the hospitality or join with a group of people and sponsor this so we can continue to bring you this incredible music talent and the great food and meal we'll have downstairs after. So thank you so much for participating in that. There's lots of different ways to give. There's a QR code in your bulletin. It was on the screen behind me. And we take checks, cash, and all kinds of other things here at 240 Page Street. And so I invite you to figure out what is you being called, how you're being called to give. Our ushers are going to come forward right now, and we're going to prepare our offering basket. The connection cards can also go into the offering basket as they come around. And we have an affirmation.
Yes, so I'm going to say this once, and I invite you to say it with me after. I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive. Can you know that with me? I give with abundant love and joy. As I give, I receive.
And so it is. So it is. So I have a couple retreats coming up. So I invite you all to participate in. First one is at Unity Village. Yes, that's Unity. Oh, go back. That is beautiful Unity Village behind us. It's 1,200 acres and right outside of Kansas City, Missouri, and it's stunning. I'm going to be there September 21st through the 25th, and it's going to be me and Misa and a whole group of us leading the Unapologetic Manifestation Retreat. Immersive, fabulous. Please join us. Connect with me if you have questions.
And then in 2027, on February 26th through March 7th, this is a 10-day retreat. We are going to Bali. Please sign up and join with us.
We have 10 people signed up for Bali already. So if you want to reserve one of the spots, 16 people is what's needed to make it a go trip. We're almost right there. So if you're wavering, we need you to reserve your spots now. With 24 is a full trip. So there will be 24 spots, okay? So sign up for Bali. It's on the website. Yep.
And then for everyone who identifies as a woman, the Spiritually Feminine Retreat is on July 30th through August 2nd.
I thought the registration was closed. No? Okay. Okay.
And we have 2 more spots. So please join us.
Hey, so if you'd like prayer, our prayer chaplains are wearing the white stoles. They'll be here in the sanctuary after. Please don't leave with anything heavy on your heart. And if you have a celebration, they'd love to amplify that with you as well. Thank you again to our AV team, who we didn't mention here. Our AV team who made all this possible.
Lorenzo, Efren,
Sammy, Efren, and Lorenzo. Thank you.
Yeah, and so we're going to give you one more opportunity to sing Hamilton. We're going to close with My Shot. rise as you're willing and able, and don't throw away your shot.
Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to wait for it to come back around so we can all start together, okay? 1, 2, 3. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on. Whoa. Let 'em hear you. Whoa. Yeah. Let's go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Shout it from the rooftop. Shout it from the rooftop. Yeah. Rise up when you're living on your knees. You rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. When are these colonies gonna rise up? 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 Rise up. And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and